See, but this is an important point for everybody to really kind of digest and absorb, right? That, you have to really be crystal clear on who you are talking to, who is your audience, right? Because while it may seem that, anybody with an online business who's running ads is part of the same audience, they're really not, because you've got people like us that love marketing, that would consider ourselves marketers, that love to read about marketing and learn about marketing and test new marketing things. And we're just like, we're giddy when it comes to just marketing related stuff. But then you've got other business owners, the overwhelming majority of business owners that would consider themselves entrepreneurs, not necessarily marketers, and they look at marketing as a necessity. They understand the value of it, they understand they need it, but they're not in love with it the way we are. And so there are lots of entrepreneurs, there are lots of business owners that want the benefits of Facebook ads and want the benefit of improving their Facebook ad performance, but aren't marketing students. And so they're not as giddy or enamored with the idea of an algorithm and things like that. And so I believe that this would appeal to a very, very, very tiny segment of the marketplace that even understands that there's an algorithm behind, behind Facebook and whatnot. Like, the reality is this. This is where we have to. This is where, when it comes to ideas and the communication of those ideas, this is where you always have to, this is really the tough part. Like, listen to me carefully here, gang, okay? A lot of marketers that hear about the big marketing idea, they think that the difficult part is coming up with big marketing ideas, developing big marketing ideas, right? Like fleshing out big marketing ideas. The truth of the matter is that as you begin to do it more and more, right? Like JMC, for example, is great at this. We've seen that, we saw that in the last conversion call with the tomatoes, grow bigger tomatoes thing and whatnot. That, right, you continue to get better and better at it. It becomes easier and easier, and it really is. They're really all over. When you understand that, it's like we're looking for an idea that nobody else is really, like a different angle, right? But the toughest part is always making sure that those ideas are speaking in the language of the prospect. And so it's not just an idea that is new, unique, different, and fresh, but you've got to be talking your prospect's language. Like, ultimately, at the end of the day, we want it to be new, unique, different, right? Fresh, but we want the prospect to say, dang, this is exactly what it is that I want. Like, this person is reading my freaking mind. This person, like, this is exactly what I was thinking about. This is exactly what I was dreaming about, right? The kind of payoff. And so you have to make sure that you're not going too abstract with the ideas. Now, depending on who you are talking to, right? Like, you might say something like, business owners who are, running online ads, or business owners who are doing online advertising, right? And I'm going to try to always use the words and phrases that they would use, not that I would use, right? So, like, we might have, we might refer to certain things in a certain way, but it's not the way we talk, it's their language, right? And so it's one of those. It's an interesting thing. I heard somebody, I forget his name, John Romanello, I think his name is Roman. He wrote a great book, Alpha Male, I think it was, and all about, like, exercise and intermittent fasting and that sort of stuff. And he was on a podcast the other day that I heard him on, and he talked about how like, a good freelance writer is somebody that, like, can write, like, 80% in the voice of the market and 20% in their own voice. Meaning, like, right, you want your own, like, you want to have your own twist. You want to bring in your personality, but you want to use the language, words, and phrases of your audience. And so you've got to say things in a way that makes sense to them and makes sense to them right away. Because if it doesn't, they're gone. They won't give you a second chance. They're gone. And so over here, right, it's, you know, really the hottest thing on this in this deck copy. The hottest thing in this deck copy is right down here. Is this, you know, this potential for, you know, 1995%, you know, ROI boost in their ad campaigns. And so I would be thinking, JMC, about a way to bring this up and say, you know, business owners, you know, who are, you know, running ads or doing online advertising, you might be eligible, you know, to experience, or you might be eligible for a 1995% ROI boost in your ad campaigns from what Facebook now calls the secret beta algorithm, or what many are now calling the secret beta algorithm. I'll explain how simple it is in a second and show you how you can outsmart, you know, or you can 10x your ROI in a matter of days, right? They get it. They understand it. It's not like they don't have to ask themselves, how does this apply to me? What does this mean for me? And so hopefully that makes sense, JMC. Like, I don't want to continue on because I know that this is going to be an expansion of the deck copy here. That is, I would go back and simplify it. Always remember who you're talking to. Always remember you need to speak with language that they use that resonates with them. And while we want to bring an idea, or need to bring an idea that's unique, different, fresh, all that, it's got to speak directly to, it can't be too abstract where they don't get it. This is one of those things where, like, you can often become too smart for your own good, and you're crafting stuff that's just well above. Like, never ever forget, the payoff is what somebody cares about most. And they want to understand when we've got something new, unique, different, the secret beta algorithm, they want to know the secret beta algorithm, this thing is going to give you that 1995. This thing has the potential to turn, you know, to give you the same return on your ad spend as if you ran 5 Super Bowl infomercials or commercials, whatever. That's like, so they get it right away. And so hopefully that makes sense.